What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Starkman from MovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and we're doing another Christmas movie, and it's another anniversary. I don't know that this is one that anybody cares about, but it is the 20th anniversary of Surviving Christmas. I see this floating around. It's possible that this has turned into a Christmas classic for somebody. We're gonna find out. Uh, the holiday classics? Question mark. Um, Ben Affleck, Christina Applegate, James Gandolfini, Catherine O'Hara, and obviously rest in peace James. He's fantastic in this. He's just great. Like, he didn't get enough opportunities to really expand. uh, I wish he was still around so we could continue to have him in things. um, but celebrating Christmas with a film aimed more less at kids, less at families, and more at adults, even though this is PG-13. Ben Affleck plays a man who is wealthy, but he sort of like reaches rock bottom. And a better version of that would be The Family Man with Nicolas Cage, I should say. By the way, that's I do actually enjoy that movie. It's just not an anniversary year. We'll get that when it gets around to it. But um, he basically he ends up outside his house, and it's James Gandolfini lives and his family live there now, and he Ben has the money to be able to pay the family to let him spend Christmas with them, and let as they have to act like they are his family, like his parents, and they have a kid, so a brother, and then later on the older sister comes home, Christina Applegate. So and he rents a grandfather too, and he's like paying for everything. He's just paying like hundreds of thousands for this experience, but to try to find and reconnect, I guess, what's missing or broken inside of him, and see if he can fill that hole, that void. I don't know who this film necessarily will work for. This film didn't really work for anybody in its initial release. Looking back on this film, Ben Affleck has a weird energy in it, where it's sort of manic. It doesn't necessarily. He's Ben Affleck isn't naturally a comedy star. He's been in comedies before, but he's not somebody you think of when you go comedian Ben Affleck. Um, and I think that's the thing that sort of hampers the movie a little bit, is if we had given this to somebody who you naturally think of as being funny, that would have worked a little bit more. But his energy in this movie is um, seems like he's close to having sort of a mental breakdown at any point, at any given point. There are some moments where he obviously has to kind of change up, because he starts developing something obviously with Christina Applegate, and then also his ex shows up at one point, or he's like, I thought we were broken up, I guess not, she's outside, so keep pretending, like that kind of thing. He just keeps having to pay them to keep pretending to be his parents. um it's an odd film, and I can't remember how this film came to be, or like the it was I remember this film being released in October of 2004, so it was like a little bit before the holidays. It's like even they knew, they were like, this is gonna get trounced, because usually you would release this around like maybe a little bit like right before Thanksgiving or right before Christmas, but this was like late October, so it was a little bit early, because I think they kind of knew. That's what I remember from this film. So um, I thought the audio description was fine. It just didn't really remind me of anything. Uh, I, granted, I maybe have seen this film a second time. I think I've only seen this film once. So but I have visually seen it. There just wasn't. It didn't bring back anything. But also, I'm not sure if this is a movie that is worth bringing anything back. But I was rewatching it again and thinking, man, the rest of the cast here is really good. Like, I actually really think James Gandolfini is quite good, and Catherine O'Hara and Christina Applegate. I think everybody just kind of plays well. There's something about Ben Affleck's energy that's off. And this is around the same time he was making Gigli and Jersey Girl, and just like the flops were coming. And he would shortly after this, he reinvents his career by getting really rave reviews for Hollywoodland, That's not that far. We're not that far from Hollywoodland. But and then he can be accepted as a dramatic actor, but yeah, he's still stuck in this. They're throwing comedies at him, but he's not really a comedic actor, you know? So, and a lot of the films just kind of flopped because they all should have had somebody in it who could work the material a little bit better. And I think Surviving Christmas might have worked a little bit better if it had just been cast differently, if it wasn't Ben Affleck. I'm not an Affleck hater. I just don't think he works in this movie. I think that's probably what's wrong with it. So, I love his cheesy acting in Armageddon. Like I would never kick him out of that movie. I think he's that scene with him and Bruce Willis is so over the top, and I love it. I love his energy in that. Here, he seems like he's wired on caffeine or cocaine or something. It's weird. It's a weird energy that he has in this movie, and it just doesn't. I think he's trying to stay unhinged, but at some point he should feel like he's fitting into a rhythm or calming down, and he only feels like he's being pushed that way when he has to have this weird romantic thing happening with Christina Applegate, who is not feeling him at all. You know, like who just is like, get this weirdo out of my house. Um, so yeah, if you want, you can check out the movie. If not, the question is it a holiday classic for you? For me, it's not. It's not a film I rewatch every year. So, but it's worth talking about at Christmas time because when else am I going to talk about this movie? And it is the 20th anniversary of Surviving Christmas. So there you go. We've discussed it, and it does have audio description. So have fun with a film. But I'm going to give Surviving Christmas a C. I think the supporting cast makes it work enough that I don't want to say this is a complete and utter disaster. But there's some stuff here that's just really not gelling and not happening. And I think they knew. I think they knew when they put it out. So, anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Happy holidays, and see you guys on the other side.